Well, everybody, Happy New Year. For anybody that didn't make my live stream last night, Happy New Year. I hope 2023 serves you well. It's actually, I'll tell you what time it is. It is 8:30 at night. Usually in Scotland, we have steak pie and New Year's Day and have like a family dinner. But because my mum's car isn't working, she didn't have a chance to go to Kipperhill to get steak pies. So she's buying us all a pizza. So I'm just going down to the pizza shop to get ours. We're having doner kebab meat on ours. Liam's having just cheese. I feel really bad at taking it off her because but right, we should buy our own pizza. It's not her problem. But because she always does the dinner, she feels bad. So, well, it's one of those things, isn't it? The shop's shut as well. The shop was shutting at 6. And I was going to try and get some cheese sauce, because I love cauliflower and cheese sauce. And it's one of the things I look forward to when I'm having any big dinner, like Christmas dinner. So I was going to cook some. But I ran to the shop earlier on to get cigarette papers and they were shutting at 6. Oh, these things come to test you. I've never been as worse off in all my life. It's a hard year for everybody, it really is. I've never been as worse off. Usually something always comes to play. But because of the weather being bad and Willie not being able to get to work, that's 4 weeks without a wage. 4 weeks over Christmas and everything. Usually, when Willie's been with anybody else, he's always had something at Christmas, but because of the weather and different things and gone self-employed, he's had 0. And the government you don't qualify for anything if you're on self-employed. If he was working for somebody, he would get something because he could say that there was no working different things and he would get something. But because he's self-employed, it's totally different. So that's why he didn't qualify for anything, guys. And because I finished up in my work in August, and it takes 6 months after you finish work for your benefits to go back to normal. So we've had absolutely nothing for benefits either. We've had £20 on a Monday to keep Liam going. So basically, as I try to get food for Liam on a Monday, that's it. We've been living off of food banks and people feeling bad for us and giving us money. But my parents and things can't do it anymore, they're too old. Honestly, I'm so grateful to Mystical Love and Light, Sunshine Dragon, October Rain Rocks, who, guys, if it wasn't for my sisters, we wouldn't even have electricity this week. I wouldn't have tobacco. We wouldn't have some food in the fridge. Oh, and also a kind person for Les Mahego who dropped me off a couple of bags of messages, food. But she says I didn't know to say her name. So I'm grateful to her as well. She got me food last week for Liam. Because the food bank gives you food, yeah, but it's only pasta in jars, in tins of beans and soup, spaghetti. And believe me, you get very fed up with toasting beans very quickly. Sometimes you get a tray of eggs or a couple of trays of eggs, but the last time we got the food bank we didn't get any eggs. And usually that's a big part of it. Not that I'm complaining, because you would eat anything when you have nothing. Believe me, I've done it. I've lived in toasting beans and soup for the last week. cup of soups. Not even a cup of tea because we didn't have any sugar. Oh, it's crazy, guys. I've never been so worse off. I'm only just thankful my mum was doing Christmas dinner, because we had a good dinner on Christmas Day. Then the next day we had some turkey left that she gave us up, and we had some sandwiches and different things. But I don't know. It's just living day to day. My mum can feed Liam, but she can't feed all of us, so we just scavenge. It's crazy, guys. I've never been so worse off in all my life, honestly. Honestly, never, ever, ever been as worse off. I'm only glad that I've got a roof over my head, or it would be really worse. I've been homeless before, I know what it's like. I was fortunate enough that I wasn't homeless in a big city. I was homeless in my hometown, and my auntie Sadie was alive at the time, and she couldn't let me stay in her house because she had carers that came in the morning. So I'd have to sleep with her off, and then after her carers came at 11 o'clock, she would let me in. And then they would come back again about 5 o'clock, so we would go away out and come back in about 7. And then we would have to go away, find a spot to lie down about 10 o'clock at night. Sometimes I would lie in our Helen's close. Nellie stayed down the street at the time, and she had a close. You opened the bottom door and there was a close, and then you went up to her door. And Billy was the neighbour at the time. It was Billy or Kerry's boyfriend that was the neighbour at the time. Anyway, sometimes Nellie would let me in, other times she wouldn't. 90% times out of 100 she wouldn't. So I would have to hunker down in the close. Just be really, really quiet. But the things you do. Alright, so we did that. But it wasn't, try to think when that was. That was about July, August. About July, August. And then what happened? Oh, winter came and my mum took me back in. And the partner I was with at the time, Barry, they wouldn't let him sleep with us in the house, so his mum and dad stayed over the back, so he had to beg his mum and dad to take him back in. So they took him in, and then he ended up getting through it, so I let him sleep with me for 3 months. Right, that's me at the Indies. I'll see you in a minute. I'm back, guys. My mum had already paid for it. So there's a car coming. My hand is frozen. I've had to switch hands. They're about due taking all their Christmas lights down. I noticed on Facebook that a few people have already took their Christmas lights down, their decorations. And it's not my rubbish I need to try and get out. I need to try and find somewhere for my rubbish, get that out, and get the decorations all down. Get them put past. So that's my work mission for the next couple of days. That's the old police station there. You'll not even be able to see it. You'll maybe be able to see it once I get to the light. The old police station, it's derelict. I would love to get in there, a ghost hunt. The ghosts of drunk people. I've been in that police station. I was only young. It was to collect our dog. The policeman took us through the back, me and my dad, to get the dog out the cell. And I always remember it. It was something like out of a Victorian prison. Like the tiles on the wall, I'm sure they were green or brown. But yeah, that's how old it was through the back of there. So that'd be really good to get in. I don't even know who would have the key for in there. If it's a private sale or if the council have it. Because if it's a private sale, they maybe let you in. I'd be scared to find a way in case I get charged with breaking an entry. Because they're very funny up here in Scotland for that kind of carry on. You know, we don't have squatters' rights and things. You need to be very careful. I don't know the type of rules. I would have to look it up. For now, I'll just stick to abandoned paranormal places that's open. You know. But I'm going to this year definitely, guys, so keep a lookout for it. I'm going to definitely find locations to go into. If you've been with me a couple of years, if you remember back before lockdown, I was just about to do an investigation in the Masonic Hall down the street. It was just after I did the Let's Go a Ghost Hunt with my local town. Remember, I did a ghost hunt with my local town, and it was pissing down with rain. I had to cancel it, and then the next week that it was on, only a couple of people turned up. But if I did that this year again as well, I think a lot of people would come. The only reason I had to cancel last year was because of the rain, and my equipment would have get ruined. So if I time it better this year, that'll be good. And at the tail end of me doing that last year, the man for the Masonic Hall mailed me, and he says, Andrina, you do realise in here's haunted. He says, when I'm sitting doing the books at night, I can hear talking in the next room, and when I go in, there's nobody there. And he also said that if you're sitting in the hall, the big hall, you can hear footsteps and things walking about through the back. He says I can do a ghost hunt in there. The only thing is he wouldn't be able to let me into the trophy room office thing, so but that's okay. And I was going to take a full big team in there, but I'm thinking I would do that myself and make it an alone challenge, because that hall down the street, guys, I've been in that hall 1,000 times. Even when I was in the Orange Lodge, that's where I went through my first and second degree. It was in there. So I've got a connection to the place, you know. And if anybody's wondering what your first and second degree is, it's your sacred thing that you do in order to be initiated into the Orange Lodge. And I did that way back in, 92. I think it was. I got initiated into it. So I've got and it's not just that. I've been to multiple parties in it since I was a wee girl. Loads of things. So I do believe I would be safe in there doing another one challenge. So that's a good thing to think about. But if not, I'll take my team. What else? And also there'll be more coming up with Ghost Squad Scotland. I don't know if you have heard on Chrissy's channel I'm saying that we're going to Sloane Castle. So that's definitely a big one, guys. The only reason I've not been telling people is I was going to keep it a kind of secret and then just tell yous all. But yeah, you'll need to keep an eye out for that, guys. It's going to be a big thing. And I'm not sure when that'll be. Probably once the weather gets better. Oh, there's loads coming up, guys. We're going to try and do every castle from here to the top in Scotland. I'm not saying that's going to take a couple of weeks or a couple of months. That'll take a couple of years. But that's our aim, is to do every castle. So we'll get as many done throughout Lanarkshire where we are. And then when the summer comes, we'll be able to go further afield. And also, guys, I'll be driving. I'll be getting a job in my mum's factory. Hopefully, anyway. I just couldn't do it before Christmas or my money would have got totally stopped. And I wouldn't even have got my £20 or anything for Liam. So that's something I couldn't do until after Christmas, so I'm definitely going to look into getting a job in my mum's factory. And then that way I can definitely learn to drive, because I've not put that on hold. That's all going ahead. And Wally as well, he's going to try his hardest to get his licence back and get a wee car. So that'll save money in lessons. Well, there's loads coming up, guys. And there's also Mystical Love and Light and I. I've got our wee show coming as well on her channel, my channel. Talk about witchy things, paranormal things, strange and unknown things, loads of things. And the Coven Sisters, we're all in full form. We've actually got people want to join, so that's something that's really taking off as well. It's brilliant. Get back to all that. And let me know if you want me to start sharing more spell work and things. I gave you a little taste of it a couple of weeks ago, but if you want me to start doing things like that more often, let me know. The only thing is, guys, I will have to start charging for these things because I need to make money. Sorry, I do. Candles, oils and things are no cheap. I've not even had my witchy box for 3 months because I couldn't afford it. £25 a month is what? £10 in your electricity, a pouch of tobacco, a loaf and a jug of milk. So I've just not been able to get my witchy box either. So I have to start charging, guys, even if it's just £5 for a candle spell. Obviously the tarot readings and things, that'll still be optional whether you donate or no, because that helps me as much as yours, helps me keep my skills up, if you like. Also, guys, I'm going to be doing tarot readings on my other channel every other week, and that'll be for Pacific astrology signs, so all that's coming up in the other channel. Also, I'll be doing readings every day on TikTok. See how that takes off. So we'll see how that goes, guys. So if you want to get a wee tarot reading, a wee oracle reading on TikTok, definitely subscribe to TikTok. There's my wee house there. So that's me home. Thank you everybody for joining me down to get my pizza for New Year. Blessed be. And I'll catch you all soon. Bye.